Hey, what's up? It's Sugar from Sound Candy Studio. Today I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to build a house and garage track using Loopcloud 5 and a bunch of samples, how to use the effects, how to change the volume level, how to do panning, and how to use your filter. So stay with me and I'll see you all in a moment. Okay, let's jump into this and let's take a look at the interface. This is Loopcloud version 5. If you're new to Loopcloud, I can certainly I'm going to leave a card above where you can look at version 4. But this is version 5, and it's a lot different from version 4. The main difference is obviously now that this one is subscriber based, so you can subscribe to this one. You can still use it as a personal library, but you can also subscribe. And when you subscribe, you get a bunch of extra tracks that allow you to really narrow down that beat and make that beat way before it ever gets into your DAW. So let's just take a look at this. So as you can see from the previous one, you had your home button, you had your search, you have your relevant products. You also had just to add a sample to the library, so as your own sample. So if you've bought sample packs, this will do it for you. Just drag it and drop it onto here and it will categorize it and it will give you all the listings. And then you have your own personal library, which mine is here. Incidentally, in this version, you also, if you are a subscriber to Loopcloud and you subscribe to it, you will also get your cloud storage. So that will give you your cloud storage there. So anything that you download and you save it to the cloud, you'll also be able to access it when you're away from your studio. So these are some of my libraries that I have. It isn't all of them. Then at the bottom here, you then have the sample libraries that I have downloaded. Now, I like the way it does this. If you download new stuff, it will come up with the new. The previous one did that too. But I do like the layout of this. So let's go back to our home section. Now, if you're very new to it, possibly you should go and have a look at my other video. But essentially, this is how it works. If you want to, let's just say, for instance, I like house and garage stuff. So let's just say I want to build a house and garage track. I can quickly go onto here, under the genre section, click on the word house. It will then start filtering all the house tracks. Now I can deselect my own personal library because I've got lots of stuff in there, but this is about this one. So I will deselect my own personal library and it will come up with a small selection here. Now you can either just scroll through this list, but what we're going to do is we're going to narrow down our search very quickly, and we're going to say, let's just say we want to, so we're looking for house and garage, we're looking for a WAV file, obviously, and we want to go and we're going to go to instrument and we're going to say drums. So now this is going to filter down that list to garage, WAV files and drums. Now what I want to do is one more filter, and that will say I want it to be a loop rather than a single shot. Rather than a single one shot. So I want it to be a loop. So now it's come up with a bunch of loops for me. So you can either go in and select ones which are your favorites. You can go and select by BPM, or you can go in and select by size. But essentially, however you do it, you can go in, audition it, and then you can purchase it if you like it. So let's go and have a listen. So let's just try this one here. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, let's try something else. You get the idea. So that's how that works. I'm not going to go into all of the minutiae on this thing here, but essentially at the top you have instruments here, you have your genres here, you have your labels, so you can choose whichever label. So if you are looking for, I don't know, Loopmaster itself, you can go in and click on Loopmaster and it will just do your filter for that. You have formats here, so you have a bunch of new formats here. Then you can go into additional and you can say whether you want it to a quarter, 16th note, blah blah blah, eighths. Then you can also go into here and say BPM, so you can do it by key, which is also fantastic. And the other thing I really do like on this one is the history. I would prefer if the history was searchable. So I'm not sure. I think it's something like 500 it will keep. But this is the list of things that I've been searching for recently. but I would like if it was searchable. But regardless of that, then you have finally on here you have your properties, and there. So if you do your own packs, you can go in and do your own, create your own custom label. So that's pretty damn handy. The other good thing that I really do like about this, let's just play this drum. So that's our drum. If we wanted to go in and add an effect to it, we would simply go on, click on the effect, click on the add button and go through, and let's just, I don't know, let's just add a filter for it. Let's just do that. Low pass filter. Let's try that, see what that sounds like. There we go. You get you get how that works. So we can turn that off. We can bypass that, so we'll turn that off. And then we can engage it once more. Now, there are lots of things you can do with this, and I probably will do a more in-depth video, but this is just a very basic overall view on how it works. So let's just say let's just close that down. Let's declick from here, so we'll close that down. Let's change the sample. Let's go and find something else. So let's just say it's that. So we've got ourselves a drum loop, and now we're going to go in and let's do, so we'll stick to house, we'll stick to waveform, we'll get rid of the drum, we'll stick to loops, and let's go to instruments once again, and let's just say keyboard. So let's just see what it comes up with the keyboard. So now we are on track number 2, by the way. Now, one of the things that I keep doing is I keep leaving it on this one and then overwriting it. So if Loopcloud, if you're listening, perhaps there should be a way of preventing me from deleting this one when I'm trying to find something else. That has been a bit of a bugbear for me, but nevertheless, it's probably just a user error. So what we'll do is we'll play this. So we can either play it and audition it, or we can just simply audition it. There we go. Incidentally, if we are looking for something here, so where we've got roads, we can go in to the keyboard section and choose what we want. So let's just say we just want roads. So we've now added roads up here to the section. So now we're looking for house, wave, loops, keyboard, and roads. So what we should get is road style. So let's mute the. Now, one of the things that I often do when I'm looking for samples, if I'm looking for house, if I'm looking for, I don't know, some chords for house, I don't limit my search down to house chords, you know, like an F major 7 or G major 7. I don't limit it to that. I actually go through and look for everything. So I sometimes use R&B chords, soul chords, funk chords. If you limit it, then you probably are going to limit your options in terms of, you know, musically, you're going to limit your options. So there we go. So if we played that and we wanted to add the drums, and incidentally, if we're here and we're on this particular organ, let's just try and change it up a couple of keys. Or we can do something real fancy. We can go into arpeggiator, we can go into basics, we can go into, there's a ton of different things that we can do. And let's just go to chords and stabs. Let's just try anything. So here we're going to go and try this house piano chord 2. Let's just see what it does to that. And then we can change the key back down. So there's a whole bunch of things we can do. So we can cycle through these. Let's try an arpeggiator. Let's try and see what it does to that. And if you want to get it back to how it was originally, you simply click on it here and reset to auto, and that will take us back to where we are. So that's how simple that is. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a look. I've got a bunch of samples, and what I'm going to do is put together a really quick house and garage style track. So let's go and do that now. Okay, right, so we've had a look at the interface, and now what I want to do is just do a really quick track for you and show you how you can make a really quick track and get some ideas down real quick. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flick through the samples that I've chosen for this particular example here. We'll start with this one. Just pay attention to the wording down at the bottom there. Just pay attention to that. So this one has just declick so you can see it again. Let's just deselect there. Okay, so this one is that name there, so that's the name you're looking for. Then it's the organ bass line, that's the one you're looking for there. Then you've got the burn stabs and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to cycle through and just take a look at them. So if you need to take note, probably stop the video or something and just take note of what they are and what I'm using. These are the samples I'm using now. I have gone ahead and purchased these. This one here, which one is it? Is it that one? No, not that one either. These ones here, this is free and it's in the welcome pack. But essentially what I've done is just grabbed a bunch of samples, put them on these 8 tracks. Now, if you subscribe to the Loopcloud library, you will have all 8 tracks here. If you haven't got, if these 8 tracks are not showing up, I think you may just have 1 and 2, but if you are a subscriber, you'll have all 8 of them. So we'll just quickly go through and show. So let's just jump into this. This is at 125 BPM. So we'll just hear what we've got here. So we've got some drum loops. So what I'm going to do is just play through them very quickly, and you can see what they are. And then we're going to go in. We're going to add some effects to some of these samples to make them a bit more interesting. And then we'll just listen to the track and see what we like. So that's the drum loop that I've chosen, and here's a quick bass line to go along with it. Here is the next element, track number 3. I'm already nodding my head here, I do like this. The next one is not so significant, but I like it. We can use that sparingly. Next one along. Next one along. And the last but not least is a vocal sample. That one there. Okay, so first of all, what I want to do, I don't want the vocal up front, I just want it kind of in the background. So what I'm going to do is I am going to click on the effects edit, and then I'm going to click on the plus sign, and then I'm going to go in, and what do I want? I want a reverb, so we'll choose a reverb from here. And let's go for Bright Hall. Let's try that. So I want a lot of reverb on this. So I'll take the wet dry slider up a little bit, and I'll also bring the size up. Let's just hear what that sounds like. So let's just mute that as well, and just keep the drums going. That'll do it. That sounds good to me. Okay, so there was one other thing, so let me mute that as well. So there's this one here, this stab. That stab, I think, needs something. So let's go in. What shall I add to that? Let's go in. Let's add a filter to it. So we should add let's do a filter sweep, and we'll say up. Now on here you can see this dial, this frequency cutoff. I want to add about 2K because I don't want it to be at the lower end. I want it to be about the 2K end. So let's just try and see what that sounds like here. Let's just play that track now. That's good. So let's just mute some of this. Let's just listen to this. That's what it sounds like with the filter on it. Listen to the bottom end. And without the filter on it, it just sounds quite flat. It doesn't have much characteristics to it. So we're going to add that filter to it. There we go. We'll add that to it. That sounds a lot better there. And we've already added the reverb to the vocals. Let's see what that sounds like. So what we're going to do on this one, we're going to bring the volume down a tad more. Let's just, because we just want that slightly in the background. Let's just see what that sounds like. as well. Let's just bring the volume down on that as well. Now what we could do to this one here as well, let's add, let's see what we should add. Let's just try, let's go for a moving. Let's go for a moving 2-bar. Let's see what that sounds like. Now this isn't replacing your DAW. It's just giving you some ideas so that when you go ahead and put this into your DAW, you can have a good vision of what it should sound like. Yeah, that works for me. And that's how simple it is to do this. It's really, 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 really simple. And of course, you can add you can go for something else and add something else into it, but it is just that simple. So if you want to try this out yourself, I won't leave all the links in the description, but you can certainly see them here, the actual samples I've used. So I'll click through them one more time. So this is your drums, and then your bass, and then this one here, which is the burn stabs, and then this one here, which we're going to use very sparingly, and then this one here, which is the vocal, and then the next one here, which is the party vox, and then finally this vocal. If I've missed anything, or if anything wasn't entirely clear, just leave a comment in the box below and let me know what you think. But that is simply how you do it. I'll also leave a card in the video so you can find the version 4 and what we did on that one as well. But that's it for me today. Take care. I'll see you again, or I'll see you all again shortly. Take care. Bye-bye.